Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the class seminar
Good
session.
morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone is ready. Who is the next? So who is the next speaker?
सर लिस्ट 1 से एंड 2 से कुछ स्टूडेंट्स नहीं कर पाए थे, उनका आज ही होगा ना?
हाँ हाँ, बोल लीजिए। आप तैयार हैं तो आ जाइए।
यस सर, आई एम रेडी।
ओके। Yeah, who is this? Who is ready to present?
So it's me, Falguni.
Okay, Neha. Falguni, sorry, Falguni.
Yes sir.
So Falguni, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes sir.
Yeah, so then try sharing your screen, your presentation.
Okay sir.
That's good. That's fine. That's good. That's very good. Okay, let us begin. The first speaker today is Ms. Falguni. May I now request Falguni to come up with her presentation. Falguni, presentation is visible. You can start it now.
Okay sir. So am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning everyone. Myself Falguni Chitmalwar and I'm from CBZ Group. And for today's seminar, my topic is biodiversity or biological diversity. When we speak about the biodiversity, the general information or general definition we give as the various types of animals and plants living in that system. But just being for a little bit formal, we say the total sum of various types of microbes, plants, and animals present in a system is known as biodiversity or biological diversity of that system. The term biodiversity was coined by Walter G. Rosen. The biodiversity is analyzed at three different levels. First is diversity of biotic communities and environment. Depending upon the environmental conditions, that is the temperature or humidity or the rainfall or the height from sea level, the ecosystem develops its own characteristic community of living organism. For example, community of forest ecosystem, the community of grassland ecosystem, etc. The community of forest ecosystem has different animals, different plants compared to grassland ecosystem. Second is diversity of species composition within a community. Biotic components in an ecosystem may be composed of few species or large number of species of plants, animals, and microbes which react with each other. That's the biodiversity of species. Then it's diversity of genetic organization within a species, basically termed as genetic diversity. It is a particular means a particular genus can have various types of species present in a same ecosystem. For example, Western Ghats is well known for the various types of amphibian species, especially the different types of frog species. Next, moving forward, there are three main elements or groups of biodiversity. First is genetic diversity. A single species might show a high diversity at genetic level, that is, it's within the species. The difference could be in the alleles, its entire genes, or chromosomal structure. Genetic diversity is also very helpful for speciation, and it is also useful in adaptation to changes in environmental conditions and also development of animal breeds and cultivated crop varieties. Second is organismal diversity or species diversity. The number of different species and relative abundance of each species in a biological community are called the species diversity. RH Whittaker divided species diversity in following categories, that's alpha diversity, beta diversity, and gamma diversity. Alpha diversity terms the diversity of the habitat or within a community. Beta diversity states that as the ecosystem changes, the types of animals or the various species also gets changes according to the habitat. And third is gamma diversity, that is the diversity of entire landscape. And the last type of diversity is ecological diversity. The variety of ecosystems that are present in a biosphere are called the ecological or ecosystem diversity. For example, in India, we can find a wide range of ecological diversity, including deserts, rainforests, mangroves, coral reefs, wetlands, estuaries, and alpine meadows. And by these elements or different types of elements, we can get various types of definitions of biodiversity. So an important and widely used definition is given by Convention on Biological Diversity, that is CBD. This treaty was signed by over 150 nations at United Nations Conference on Environment and Development at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1992. According to CBD, the biodiversity definition can be the variability among living organisms from all sources including inter alia, that is among other things, terrestrial, marine and other aquatic ecosystems and the ecological complexes of which they are a part. This includes diversity within species, between species, and of ecosystem. Thank you, everyone. And for this, my presentation, I used our Himalaya publication book for zoology, paper 2. Thank you, sir.
Sir, shall I be the next one to present? Sir, you are not audible. Hello.
Audible now?
Yes, sir. Shall I be the next one to present the screen?
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
So I just wanted to say a few things about Arvi's presentation. It was very nice and very
Crispy it was.
and other comes up.
So you are not audible properly.
Yeah, I know.
सर आपका आवाज इको हो रहा.
अभी आ रहा बराबर.
अभी आ रही है बराबर?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. अभी आ रही है.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to comment on Falguni's presentation. It was very nice and very crispy, and she had I have to give one suggestion to Falguni. At the end, you have said you have referred a book which is an Himalaya publication. You know, if it is a book or a print article, the important thing which has to be cited or referred is the author, not the publisher. If the publishing house has a edited book, then you do not need to, you need to understand the difference between edited book and a book. A book is, is the authored book. Authored book is the one which an author writes it, right? And published book is what, the book. The publisher himself or herself or itself does a job of asking different authors to contribute in a book. When it is a contributed work of different authors, it is called edited book or edited article. The edited article or edited book or edited review, in that case you giving credit to the publisher is okay. But when you give a when you refer a book which is authored by one or two authors, one or two people, then you need to refer or cite the people first. As if the Himalaya publication, maybe it's Dr. Ashish Jha's Himalaya publication book, so you need to, I don't know which book you have referred. Falguni, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Which book it was? Who were the authors?
Dr. Gunwant Gadekar, Dr.
Gunwant
Ashish
Gadekar.
Jha,
Yeah,
Mr. Ashish Gadwe, Dr. Rajkumar Bonde.
yeah. So all these people are known to me actually. Like Ashish Jha is in Hislop College and Gadekar is in Gondia Dhote College, and the Garve is in some Dhote Bandhu College only somewhere. He's also good in molecular biology and genetics. Ashish Jha is also a very good active researcher from Hislop College. So whenever when you refer such books, you need to say not all the names. You need not to spell all the names. You need not to tell all the names of the authors. You can say the first one, like if it is the first one is if Gunwant Gadekar, so Dr. Gadekar and his associates or his co-authors. Okay, Gadekar and co-authors, Himalaya publication, and the name of the book. If it is a edited book, edited books are different. You would come to know whenever. Now you start observing things like this, which books are like authored books and which are not, which are edited books. So in edited books, you can say it's an edited book from Himalaya publication. Okay, anyways, keep it in mind. This is a point to be remembered whenever you go for some publication or writing some article in newspaper or in a book or in some other publication, publishing media. Anyways, it was good, Falguni. Thank you very much. Now we move on to the next one, who is waiting. I don't know his name.
Sir, shall I present next?
Yeah. Who is this?
This is Mukul from
Mukul.
CBZ.
Okay, Mukul will be the next speaker. May I now request Mukul to come up with his presentation?
My screen is visible?
Yes, it is visible. Very well visible. You can start it now. Make it a slideshow. Yeah, good.
Hello there, guys. Hope everybody is doing good. This is Mukul from CBZ Group. So today I will be presenting on the topic plastic waste management. Why have I chosen this topic? I think these days everybody is aware of topics like global warming, air pollution, and everything. But plastic waste is quite untouched topic, and I believe everybody should be aware of it. Plastic waste is a big nuisance. Everybody should be aware of it. So here I am with my presentation. Let's proceed to the next slide. So why plastic is such a nuisance and why should we manage it? See, what is plastic? Plastic isn't biodegradable, so it's really tough to manage it. It causes pollution, and report says an average plastic bag takes about 10 years to be decomposed. And plastics on an you can say plastics can survive till 1,000 years and no shit will happen to it. Decomposition of plastic. Plastic is one of the many types of waste that take normal too much time to decompose. See, here you can see that how much time it takes to decompose. I have read in a report that a normal plastic bag takes around 10 years and a diaper takes around 5 to 10 years. A normal plastic cup takes 20 years to decompose. And here is the data from, I'm sorry. Here is the data from NDTV India. It says Maharashtra was the highest producer of plastic waste per annum, according to the reports of 2015 and 2016. So this is a big problem. As we see here, how much waste is being produced. Tamil Nadu 1.500323. These figures I need ton. Right? Per annum, this much waste is produced. This is a big deal. Plastic is too dangerous for animals. In animals, when we throw the plastics anywhere, the animals tend to eat them. And what it does cause to the animal, it causes him to death. Plastic in animals' gut can prevent food digestion, and it can lead to a very slow and painful death in them. So we should be aware of this thing and keep it in mind whenever we throw plastic anywhere. Look at this poor animal. He's stuck in plastic. This is because of us, because we are throwing plastic in the seas and all. Thousands of seabirds and sea turtles, seals and other marine animals get killed every year because of this. Among nearly 700 species that eat and get caught in plastic litter, 100 million marine animals die each year from plastic waste alone. This is a big deal. I tell you guys, we should try to manage it. Not only for animals, it's dangerous for us too. See, when we throw the waste in the seas, oceans, the fish tend to eat it. And when the fish eat it, it becomes part of its body and we eat the fish. The microplastics go into the fish, as you can see here. And Forbes report told that, and Forbes report told that the fish you are eating might contain plastics like nylon, polystyrene, and polythene. And I tell you guys what, when we eat this kind of plastics, I don't think it's gonna be healthy for us. This might cause some serious nuisance, such as you can say uh, hormonal mismanagement in the body. Have you heard of the GPGP, Great Pacific Garbage Patch? This is an massive patch of garbage in the Pacific Ocean. This is around twice the size of Texas. So this big is this problem. We need to understand it. So what can we do as a person? What can we do to manage plastic? Nothing much. हमें कुछ नहीं करना, हमें बस क्या करना है, प्लास्टिक वेस्ट को मैनेज, मतलब जहाँ पे यूज नहीं यूज हो सकता है वहाँ पे अपना ही यूज करे, प्लास्टिक यूज ना करे. जैसे मतलब हम अभी सब्जी भाजी लेने जा रहे हैं तो प्लास्टिक बैग नहीं लाना उनसे, अपना घर से थैला लेके जाना. ये छोटी सी चीज है पर दिस विल मेक अ डिफरेंस. And at the end, the images were from Google Images, data courtesy from Wikipedia, Google, NDTV India, and Green Foundation, and NCRT book class 12. I would like to add another point to it. There is one guy who has managed to manage the plastic waste, and proudly he's from India. His name is Ahmad Khan. He's about 60 years old. He's from Bangalore. he was a manufacturer of plastic bags, plastic sacks, and what he found that it's causing too much of waste. So he realized that, and his company started to make polyblend, a fine mixture of modified plastic, and was developed by his company. And then mixed with bitumen was used to lay roads in Bangalore. And I tell you guys what, these roads are much more durable than the normal damper roads. And this guy is doing a really great job. So guys, we should manage plastics, and plastics are very harmful to our environment. Our ecosystem is too fragile for this. Our ecosystem could be destroyed by this plastic. We should manage it. And at last, I'm going to thank my friend Akansha to suggest me this topic. And thank you, sir, for let me present it. And that's all, folks. Here we conclude. Thank you, everybody, for watching this.
Yeah, thank you, Mukund. Mukund, right? Mukul.
Yes, sir.
Mukund or Mukul?
Mukul.
Okay, Mukul. It was nice. You have chosen a very a burning topic, and can I ask you to share your presentation again and come back to that slide where you have shown how the plastic has been consumed by fish, and then in sequentially we also consume fish. So can you come up with that slide? I need to comment something.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
This one?
And the fish one. The fish which we eat. The fish which we eat. You showed a food chain of plastic, fish, and
yes,
man.
yes, this one. Microplastics, then to fish, and then to humans.
Yeah. So here I want to leave a comment that, as he said, it was a very rightly titled in food chain. You all know in ecosystems we have food chains, the prey-predator relationships, and how an animal eats up another consumer, other animal, and initially when it starts with the producer. So the food chains have been usually established in an ecosystem, and if the food chains are interlinked, we call it food web. But now here you can see it's a food chain of plastic. The plastic which will litter in the water bodies, not only seas, in ponds too. Their fishes, they somehow they come across and they eat these plastics, and they try to digest them, and they cannot digest it completely. But the plastic monomers or dimers, it's a polymer. It's a polymer, polyethylene, polystyrene, and there are different molecules which are which have been arranged in the polymer form, and that particular product is used as a plastic. So when the fishes eat it and they try to digest, sometimes these molecules come to some dimer or monomer states, the microplastics which you call. This is deposited in their, in their living system, in their body. And that body accumulation is called bioaccumulation. There is a term called bioaccumulation. Yeah, so this way, the microplastic is accumulated in the body of, fishes, and that is called bioaccumulation. And the same way, when we eat the fishes which have already fed upon, which have not fed upon, which have consumed the plastic litter, so that plastic comes into our body, and that is again, deposited. And what happens if some fish is eaten by a bigger fish? Suppose a smaller fish has eaten the plastic, and it has bioaccumulated the microplastic in its body, and hundreds of these fishes are eaten by, suppose, shark. So there, what happens in one feast only, the shark has plenty of microplastic in its body. Of course, the shark is big, but there, the type of the microplastic, the quantity of microplastic that has been consumed by that shark, in what happens in shark, the microplastic increases by many folds, and that is called bioamplification. When a bigger fish eats many fishes which are infected, which are like not infected, which have already consumed the microplastic, which have deposited, which have accumulated the microplastics in them, and those, when they're eaten by a bigger fish, it is amplified in those bigger animals. So that way, if we eat a shark, suppose if we eat shark, then what happens? The amplified microplastic is ingested in our body. So that way, there are two terms which are called bioaccumulation and bioamplification. These two terms come up. They come into role to explain how this microplastic is harmful to our health and living system. And one more thing I would like to add over here, that is, one thing I'll tell you: the plastic is the best thing which has occurred to humankind on this earth. You should agree to this also. Plastic is the best thing, best molecule which has been discovered, which has been invented, I would say, which has been invented in all these years. This is the best thing which has occurred to mankind. It is so beneficial, but the type of management, the type of usage, and type of littering it, type of disposing it, has made it a nuisance, which has made it a big deal or big issue. The thing is that you need to manage it. As he has come up with a smaller solution, like when you go to the bazaars for buying vegetables, so you can have your own bag to carry them, not the plastic bags from the vendors. So that way, you should come up with we all know the options, we all know the solutions, but we do not manage it, we do not implement them. The implementation and trying out for the substitutes is what is called management. So we need to have a better management system for plastic, because plastic, which has been a boon for mankind, has now become a curse. It's like, malaria, the sickling of cells was a boon at the time when the malaria was not under control. When malaria spreads, the villages and villages, like population dies in many numbers. But now that we have the control over the Plasmodium protozoan, so we can control the malaria. So that way, but the thing is that the sickling of those cells, which were like beneficial at that time when the malaria was an epidemic, now it is not, because we have a control over the malaria. So we don't need the sickling of cells. Now the sickling of that cell has become a curse to humankind. So sometimes, with the time passage, a passage of time, or in the due course of time management, some features, some aspects which we adopt, which we change, they become like curse, or they become harmful. So in that course of time, we need to accept the newer substitutes and the newer options or a newer management protocols to manage those aspects which are like turning into harmful, okay, which are turning harmful. Anyways, thank you very much, Mukul. Who's next? Thank you very much. You can stop sharing your screen. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you.
Can I be the
Sir,
next?
shall I present the next?
One at a time. Anyway, I could see the Khushi name I could see on the screen.
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah, Khushi, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, start. Go ahead.
Sir, screen is visible. Sir, sir, screen is visible. Sir?
Yes, screen is visible.
Screen is visible.
Okay. Biodiversity. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Khushi Pandarpurkar. I have chosen a topic of biodiversity. So here is my presentation. Introduction. The term biodiversity was first coined by Walter G. Rosen in 1986. The biosphere comprises of a complex collection of innumerable organisms such as biodiversity, which constitute the vital life support for survival of human race. Biological diversity, abbreviated as biodiversity, represents the sum total of various life forms such as unicellular fungi, protozoa, bacteria, and multicellular organisms such as plants, fishes, and mammals at various biological levels, including genes, habitats, and ecosystems. What does biodiversity mean? Bio means life and diversity means variety. There are three types of biodiversity: diversity of species, diversity of ecosystem, and diversity of genes. Distribution of biodiversity. Biodiversity is distributed into flora and fauna diversity and biodiversity hotspots. So, flora and fauna diversity depends on climate, altitude, soil, presence of other species. Most of the biodiversity concentrated in tropical regions. Biodiversity hotspots. Hotspots meaning a small area with a relatively high temperature in comparison to its surroundings. A region with high biodiversity with most of species being endemic. India has two biodiversity hotspots, East Himalayan region and Western Ghats as shown in the map. Benefits of biodiversity. Benefits of biodiversity is stated as consumption value and non-consumption value. Consumption value has food, drink, fuel, medicine, better crop varieties, industrial materials. And non-consumption value has recreation, education, and research traditional value. Threats of biodiversity is described as two causes: natural causes and anthropogenic causes. Natural causes is narrow geographical area, low population, low breeding rate, natural disasters. Now the anthropogenic means caused by humans or their activities. So habitat modification, over exploitation of selected species, innovation by exotic species, pollution, hunting, global warming and climate change, agriculture, and domino effect. Recent issues on biodiversity. Some 75% of the genetic diversity of crop plant being lost in the past century. Some scientists estimate that as many as 3 species per hour are going extinct and 20,000 extinctions occur each year. Roughly 1/3 of the world's coral reef system has been destroyed or highly degraded. About 25% of mammals and 12% of bird species are currently considered to be globally threatened. More than 50% of the world's wetlands have been drained, and populations of inland water and wetland species have declined by 50% between 1970 and 1999. Conservation of biodiversity is biodiversity inventories, conserving biodiversity in protected habitats like in situ conservation and ex situ conservation, seed bank, gene bank, pollen bank, DNA bank. Restoration of biodiversity, imparting environmental education, enacting, strengthening, and enforcing environmental legislation. Population control, reviewing the agricultural practice, controlling urbanization, conservation through biotechnology. Conclusion: biodiversity is our life. If the biodiversity got lost at this rate, then in near future, the survival of human being will be threatened. So it is our moral duty to conserve biodiversity as well as environment. Long-term maintenance of species and their management requires cooperative efforts across their landscape. Biodiversity should be dealt with at scale of habitats or ecosystems rather than at species level. Thank you for kindly hearing my presentation. I referred this presentation from Google. Thank you, sir. Sir, you are
Sir,
not
please
audible.
mute yourself.
Sorry, thank you, Kushi. It was a nice small presentation. It was informative at least, and you have included many terms in your presentation which you haven't explained. You need not to explain each and every term like in a expanded way, but at least as you said, endemic. What does that mean? At least you should have said few words and then you should have moved ahead. Anyways, you keep on learning these things. You keep on keeping this in mind, that the terms which you introduce for the first time in your presentation should be elaborated some way. Either you stop and tell what it is, otherwise you say endemic. Oh, those species which are limited to one geographical location. Whatever way you want to, what is endemic? So you need to either briefly describe it, or you stop and explain the term. That makes your presentation more interesting. Okay, if you go on with the technical terms, using them, of course these terms are usually used: in situ conservation, ex situ conservation. You need to like briefly explain what in situ conservation is like. Okay, anyways, it was a good attempt, it was a good presentation. Thank you,
Okay,
Kushi.
sir, next time I will be.
Yes, of course, that's good, that's very good. Let
Thank
us
you,
come
sir.
with, yeah, thank you. Come up with the next. We'll go ahead.
So shall I be the next one?
Shall I present
Shrunkala?
next?
Shrunkala? I could see Shrunkhala's
Yes,
name
sir.
displaying. Yeah, Shrunkala, come up with your presentation.
Yes, sir. So it is visible?
Not yet, not yet.
Abhi?
अभी भी नहीं आया.
Okay. 1 second, sir.
Mhm. Yeah, your video has come. Share the screen.
Yes, sir. Now, sir?
Not yet. You need to select the screen window which you're trying to share. Share screen करिए, windows दिखेंगे, window जो दिखाना है आपको उसको select करिए, then share होगी. Shrunkala will have a break. You try whether you can share it or not in the next attempt. We'll go further.
Sir, shall I be the next?
Who's this?
Atharva Lute.
Okay, Atharva, yesterday you were trying. Like I hope you would be like fine today. Atharva,
Yes, sir.
start your presentation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's been shared. I can see the share screen. Okay, Atharva.
Only when the last tree is cut down, the last fish is eaten, and the last river is poisoned, man will know that he cannot eat money. Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Atharva Lute, and my topic is environmental conservation. I have chosen this topic because I feel relevant to discuss this topic with you. The topic is primarily based on a natural question mark disaster that happened in Kerala in 2018. Whether the Kerala 2018 is natural or man-made one is still a question that is debated in many streams. Though being the stage with complete literacy rate in the country, how we treat the environment and environmental losses, it's not only about Kerala but our whole planet, which may not have happy ending if proper steps are not taken in a right time. Here are some topics affecting our environment. First one is um, environment and pollution. We all know that how pollution is affecting environment and living bodies. I have an example of low visibility from the pollution has been blamed for an 18 car pileup about 30 miles from New Delhi. To make control on pollution, we should follow some measures like using public transport, recycle, reuse and reduce method, avoid usage of crackers, etc. Next one is deforestation. We know that deforestation is clearing Earth's forest on a massive scale, and at the current rate of destruction, the world's rainforest can completely disappear within 100 years. Together, forest and agriculture are responsible for 24% of greenhouse gas emission, making deforestation a significant contributor to climate change. Deforestation impacts the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere in two ways. First, when the trees are cut, the carbon they are storing into the atmosphere. Second, trees play a critical role in absorbing the greenhouse gases that fuel global warming. Besides this, forests provide habitat for over 80% of the plants and animals that live in land. Deforestation destroys this habitat, so to make control on it, we should follow some measures like plant a tree where you can, raise awareness in your circle and in your community, etc. Moving forward, our marine life is also suffering from danger. We know that oil spill incident by which marine life was suffocated and caused harm in large amount. In this given images, we can see how the oil spill effect and polluted water is harming fishes. To place control on this, we should follow some measures like control on chemical and industrial pollution, which is released in water bodies and make them toxic. Participate or organize a beach or river cleanup events. Now we all are aware of extinction fact of wildlife. Why they are extinct? Because we harm their habitat as well as them and many more reasons. We all remember one horrible incident of Kerala of an elephant. Can anyone imagine that your mouth is exploded by a bomb when there is a child in your stomach? It really hurts when this action are observed. For this, for their safety and parental care, we can provide water, feed birds and animals in a right way, take care of wildlife habitats, take part in conservation and activities, etc. This is the last slide of my presentation. Here I want to add that environment is life, pollution is death. I don't want to protect environment. I want to create a world where the environment does not need protection. No intelligent species would destroy their own environment. I hope my presentation inspired you and aware you about making changes for our environmental conservation. For my presentation, images and some information was collected from Google and Wikipedia. Thank you.
Thank you, Atharva. It was really inspiring. Your presentation was really inspiring. You have touched much good topics, much sensitive topics which are related to, as you said, environment is life and pollution is death. So love life. Death will come, that is there, but that is the hard truth of life. But still, love life, love environment. Anyways, thank you very much. It was a good presentation. By look wise also, your presentation was very nice. It was very eye soothing. Yeah, it was like it represents the environment. It represents the environment, the life. Thank you very much, Atharva. Can anybody else come now? Because I think it's already 11 o'clock. We have to put a break over here. Tell me the timing when we can again come up and.
Sir, shall I present the next?
Sir,
Dikshita, actually it's see, Dikshita, you have requested, but it's 12:59. It's already 1 o'clock. You must be having another class at 1. So we'll break it and tell me the timing when you all can come up again. Is it Monday? Monday is okay?
Okay, sir.
Monday at 2 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Monday, I think by 2 o'clock your classes will be over. Hello?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Sir, at 4
So,
o'clock we have biochemistry class.
4 o'clock?
At 2 o'clock we have biochemistry
So
class.
that means we cannot take it at 2 o'clock then. We'll go for Tuesday then. You just come up with your the day on which it can be taken after your classes. Otherwise, we have to wait till the next turn of your class comes. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll take Bagre Sir's class on Monday. I suppose he has a class to you. So that class I'll engage and I'll continue with the presentations. Okay, I'll inform you accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The presenters were very good today, and I think we have conducted it in a smooth way today. So the things improve like this only. First day we had very hotchy-potchy type of presentation or session. Anyways, this is the way one should improve, one should develop. Thank you very much for the good presentations and good look-wise also very good presentations. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.